Welcome to my VBA tutorials. Hello everybody, my name is Namita Devi and I want to thank you for choosing me your instructor. I'm really very excited to start this journey with you. We will be covering 4 chapters. Each chapter is of only 15 minutes. At the end, I guarantee you that you will be able to build your own macro. You will be able to automate all your manual routine jobs in Excel. So with this, let's start. Let's start with our first chapter, VBA and macro basics, and let's do some magic with Excel. Alright, so to start with, you need a developer tab in your Excel file like you can see on my screen. And if you do not have this option, then I'll tell you how you can get it. Go to Files, go to Options, then choose Customize ribbon. On the right hand panel, you can see this option Developer. Check this box. If it is unchecked, then click OK. You will get this option in your Excel file. You can see so many options here, but do not worry about all of them. We will be covering them as and when the need occurs. The second thing I want to tell you is about the file extension. Whenever you are working on your Excel file and you have some macros coded in your file, you have to save your file in .xlsm format. This .xlsm extension tells the Excel that this file contains macro and you need to save this file accordingly. If you will save your file which has extension like .xls or .xlsx format, then this macro will not re-execute or will not get saved for future after you close this file. So whenever you save your macro Excel file, make sure it is saved as .xlsm. How you can do it? Go to Files, click on Save As, browse the location wherever you want to save this file, and then from Save As type, you have to choose .xlsm format. Then click on Save. This will save your file in .xlsm format, which will enable your macros in future. Whenever you will open your file, you have the access to your macro coding. Now we will see how a macro looks like and where I can write my macro. So go to Developer tab, go to Visual Basics. You will be landed on this page. We have left hand side and right hand side which is grayed out as of now. On the left hand side, you can see all your workbooks which are currently open, all the sheets within this workbook. And where do I need to write my macro? You need to have a panel named Module. So from the top, click on Insert, click on Module. This is the place wherein you are writing your all the macros. There are 2 types of macros. One is which executes some actions like adding 2 cells, merging 2 sheets, etc. One is user-defined function. So what is user-defined function? For example, I have some numbers and I want to add all these numbers. So I already have a predefined function in Excel which is known as a sum, and I can get the total of all these numbers. If I want to get, instead of numeric format, I want to get it in 1, 2, 3 in this format, then I do not have any predefined function in Excel. If you want to write your own function, then you can write it using the macros, and that is known as user defined function. So how they both looks like? All the macros in this world starts with sub, any name of your macro which you want to give, bracket open, close, and press enter. When you press enter, it automatically adds a tail which is known as and sub to this macro. So sub and sub, this is the head and this is the tail of the macro. This is the identity of the macro. So if you are watching any code or anything written between sub and end sub on any website, on any blog, that you can identify that this is a macro. For user defined function, you have to write function, the name of your function, bracket open, close, and press enter. So the identity of user defined function is function and function. You have also noticed that when I just finished writing, a horizontal line has appeared automatically. This line tells me that these are two different macros and they are separated with a horizontal line. Let's say if I want to write one more macro here, and you will notice that one more horizontal line has been appeared. If you want to write your macros, different macros in different modules, you can insert more modules from here, or you can right click it from here, insert module. So if I want to write my this macro in this module, you can separate it by using the modules. It will automatically be appeared as module 1, 2, 3, and so on. Let me open one Excel file which is already having some macros written in it. So you can see the screen will appear like this. This is the new workbook that I have opened. I have only one sheet in this workbook and one module wherein some of the macros has been written. I have this workbook having 3 sheets in this and having 3 modules in this workbook. Now let me close this to avoid any confusion. Hope it is clear that how you can identify the execution macro which is performing some actions and your user defined functions wherein you are defining your own functions. If you want to delete your module, you can do so. You can right click from your mouse and then click on remove module. If you want to export whatever coding you have done, you can do so by clicking on yes. If this is just a test macro and you don't want to export any coding, you can click on no, and module 3 will get disappeared from the screen. On Visual Basics panel, let me open that for you. Click on Developer, click on Visual Basics. And on this panel, the left-hand portion is known as Project Explorer. If it is not visible on your screen or if it has been crossed out accidentally, I'm closing this from here. I'm pressing this close button. So you can get it back from the top button View. Click on View and then click on Project Explorer. And this portion, this Project Explorer will be visible on your screen. All right, so now we will see how many ways are there to run a macro. So there are 4 ways by which you can run your macro. The first method is the shortcut method, Alt plus F8 key. I'm pressing Alt plus F8 key from my keyboard and you will see that a pop-up window has appeared. This pop-up window contains all the macros which you have designed or you have coded in your file. You can run your macro from here. You can edit your macro from here. You can delete your macro from here. You can provide a shortcut key to run your macro from this pop-up window. The second method is the macro button. So for this, go to the Developer tab, click on this button macro, and then you will be landed again on the pop-up window from where you can run, you can edit, you can delete your macros, and you can provide your shortcut keys to your macros. I'm canceling it out. The third method is the Visual Basics editor. So on the same tab, Developer, click on this button, Visual Basics, and you will be landed on the page wherein you have written, you have coded your macro. Put your cursor here, put your blinking line here at the very first of the macro before sub, and then from the top, click on this green arrow button which tells the macro that you have to execute. Then I'm clicking this button and see this macro has been executed, something has happened at the backend. If you want to run another macro, you can do so. I'm running this macro, so I'm keeping my cursor at the front of sub, and then I'm pressing on this execution button from the top and see what happened. Everything has been cleared out. So this macro tells me that you have to clear all the cells in this worksheet. Now I'm closing this window. The last method is the button. Now I'll tell you how to insert a button and how you can associate your macro with the button. This is my favorite part. I have an option to insert a button in the Developer tab. You need to go to the Insert basket, click on this and click on this button. As soon as you click on this button, you will see that the cursor of your mouse has been changed to a plus sign. From here, you have to draw your button. Just click on your mouse and draw your button of any size you want. As soon as you leave your finger from the mouse, it will ask you which macro you want to assign to this button. I'm assigning format cells macro to this button and clicking on OK. You can change the name of your button, format cells. And then when you click on this button, something will happen in this window. I'm clicking on this button and see the font, the color, the size has been changed. I'm inserting one more button and I'm this time choosing clear macro from the list, clicking on OK. I'm changing the name of my button to clear all cells. When I click on this button, this macro will execute and it will clear out all the cells in this work file. I love this part, clicking on button and something magical is happening at the back end. This is a very small example I have taken here just to explain you what are the different ways by which we can run a macro.